It's ketchup packets.
Hey everybody, I'm Sean.
I'm Nate.
Today we are doing something a little bit different. We are going to watch a movie instead of an episode of a show.
Yay, movie!
Nate hasn't seen a lot of movies that I consider my favorite movies. There are plenty of movies I haven't seen too, but today we're going to watch a movie that Nate hasn't seen and I have. It's one of my favorites. Ben Affleck's Gone Baby Gone. Nate, what do you know about this movie?
I know it's about private investigators looking for a missing girl.
Because that's what I told you upstairs a few minutes ago.
That is it.
So you've not heard of this movie before?
Nope.
Okay. This is the first movie that Ben Affleck ever directed.
Oh, okay.
I've seen The Town, and I didn't see Argo. I don't think I've seen other Ben Affleck movies besides this and The Town.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't think I have either.
Well, Argo won Best Picture, so it's, I guess, understood to be his best movie, I suppose, as a Best Picture winner. But in my opinion, having seen just this and The Town, this is a really great first effort from a director. You know, I guess I don't have enough information to say it's his best movie, but this is a really, really good movie.
Yeah, I'm not Ben Affleck's hugest fan as an actor, but I've heard he's a pretty good director.
He's not in this movie. I'll tell you that. Do you know anyone who's in it? Did you spot anyone in the thumbnail when we were coming in here?
Nope, didn't even notice.
Oh yeah? Alright, well, there are actors I think you'll recognize. Mm-hmm. Some that you might not realize you know. I don't know. I guess it'll depend on if you've seen the other things that they're in, but I guess it have to be enigmatic if you know absolutely nothing about this. But,
yeah.
I like this movie a lot because I feel like it's the best moral quandary I've ever been presented with by a film. Like, it's a movie where you genuinely have... It's going to be a good post-movie discussion, let's put it that way, because I think there are some really good questions asked by this movie about the nature of right and wrong.
Some moral gray area situations. Yeah. Interesting, okay.
Right, so...
Ooh, I'm excited for this. It's going to be cool.
It's pretty gritty, pretty heavy. It might be some heavy content, but I haven't seen other reactions to this on YouTube, so... I don't know how popular this movie is with the reaction audience. Maybe we won't get a ton of viewers, but hopefully some of you out there, like me, appreciate this movie and are going to join us and watch it. And it's not the only one we'll ever be doing, so we're definitely... More movie reactions are coming. But, I just remembered. We can't put polls on our page until we cross at least 1,000 subscribers. So, much as we hate to do it, try and help us get above that level, and then we can have you guys vote and polls about what movies we watch next.
Yeah, we'd love to be able to give you guys input on what we're doing here, so...
Exactly. The audience is part of this as well.
Yep. Need 1,000 subscribers, so tell your friends.
Yeah, we're still a little baby channel right now, but I think that's I think that's an attainable goal.
Yep, absolutely.
Alrighty, so without further ado, let's check out Gone Baby Gone. I think 2007, I believe, is the year, but that could be wrong.
I'd say Morgan Freeman.
Mm-hmm.
When I was young, I asked my priest how you could get to heaven and still protect yourself from all the evil in the world.
I can't imagine having to find missing persons in a big bustling metropolis like this.
Yeah.
It feels like it would be practically impossible.
Where do you even start?
Yeah.
I mean, who would take my little girl? She never hurt.
Do you watch The Office?
Yeah.
Holly?
Oh. Didn't even recognize her. I feel like I recognize that guy.
That's Casey Affleck.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's in a lot of things. Ocean's 11.
The whole force standing outside the house, guarding the sidewalk, their arms crossed. Well, you know, the kidnapper's coming back.
Classic cops showing up after crime has happened.
Yeah, great.
Do you know Michelle Monaghan? Have you seen True Detective?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, okay.
I was a freshman, she was a senior. She was blowing my coalie down the post when you were still 14 and innocent, milking cows up Vermont.
about innocent.
Mother says Amanda may be carrying a little girl of her own. Mirabelle was last seen with Amanda.
So it's like a whole community of people that have all known each other since they were kids.
Yeah.
Up to this point, our experience has been primarily, finding missing persons who've gone missing. That they had to stop payments on the jet ski, and they.
This is how you deliver exposition.
This officer in the
Yeah.
state is looking for your niece right now. I'm not sure how much more help we could be.
An organic conversation.
People actually telling each other things they don't know.
No, it's not that. Why is this so hard? The cops don't want me coming here. Lionel don't want me coming here. Now you don't want the job?
No, it's not that we don't want the job.
We consult privately. We don't make decisions.
Talking to the mother's the least we could do. We'll come right over.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, pleasure, Lionel.
Like in COVID. Nobody wore their work
Yep.
clothes on the bottom.
Listen, we'll just go up and we'll talk to him. You don't want to do it after that? I won't argue with you.
I can imagine these types of cases are extremely psychologically damaging to the people
Yeah.
who have to run them.
I remember you from high school. I see you're still a little conceited, huh?
Wow.
Maybe we should go. Look, can we all just have a few words in the hallway, please?
Excuse us.
Helene's watching Jerry Springer. Seems like a good activity for someone with a kidnapped daughter.
Yup.
This is the first time I've seen this movie since becoming a parent, so it's going to
Oh,
change my
yeah.
perspective on it, I bet. I'm interested to see how it plays differently.
I can imagine. Is this based on a true story or anything?
It's based on a novel.
Oh, okay.
It's all right, Pete. It's all right, Pete.
She use drugs?
I think she does a little coke.
How much is a little?
I don't know. A few times a week, maybe. I mean, how much is a lot?
A few times a week's a lot.
And she does a lot. I don't know anything about that. I put the plug in the jug myself. I get 23 years sobriety, so I'm good.
Put the plug in the jug. I like that.
You mind if we see her room?
Do you recognize Lionel? You might not recognize him with his big mustache, but that's the man in black from Lost.
Oh! Wow.
I think Mr. McCready was hoping we could help with the neighborhood aspect of this investigation. The people,
How old are you?
I'm 31.
He just looks young.
He may look young, but if he wants to work this case, he'd better not act it.
Well, he's been hired by a woman who's the victim of a crime. And by law, he's entitled as her representative to be cooperated with by the Boston Police Department. So he expects to be.
And he will be.
Good.
Good afternoon.
Ready to get started?
He was being pretty gruff, but I think
Yeah.
he just takes the situation very seriously.
Yep. As he should.
Did you catch on his press briefing on TV when he said he knows what it's like to lose a daughter?
I didn't notice that.
Listen, buy a couple of fucking drinks or screw.
Okay, we'll take a couple of tonics.
I love the location so far. Really paints a picture of what this area is kind of like.
Helene brought a man down here?
Mostly in the afternoons. I mean, there's no place for a child at night.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Hot tempers, a lot of drugs.
Doesn't look like a place for a child during the day either.
No, but neither does
Yeah.
the house they're living in, or the
Yeah.
apartment they have, I mean.
She's a fucking coco.
Hey, Stevie. The fuck you doing?
Why don't you mind your business?
He's gonna come in here and be a smart ass.
All right, just cool it.
Cool it. Listen to this douchebag.
Bitch, he fucks this asshole in half.
Jesus Christ, what the fuck is the matter with you guys?
You punk fucking jackass.
Shit's getting hot.
We're leaving, all right? Open that door, Rummy.
Open the door, Mike.
Now.
you ever want to get fucked, let me know.
How's that, motherfucker? Now you know. Your fucking mouth's closed. What, you wanna say some shit, Fat Dave?
Fuck you.
Fuck you, make me a martini, you fucking fat bastard. Make it.
The fuck out.
Make me a fucking martini, you fat fucking retard!
Patrick is no slouch.
Yeah, no. It's quite a swing. I don't like to judge people for their circumstances, but this does not seem like the neighborhood to be raising a kid in.
Corwin Earl, serial molester, recently work released, went AWOL around the time Amanda disappeared.
Known associates, Leon Trent, and
Recognize him.
handsome wife for
Do you know what from?
His Breaking Bad.
Yes.
He was ringing a bell last time I saw him.
They have drug habits. We don't know where they are, but we think Corwin's with
I better call Saul, too.
Jailhouse snitch
Yes.
claims that Corwin confided in him.
And before those, I knew him from Oz.
Turns out the mother was down at the Fillmore all night while the kid was taken.
With Skinny Ray.
Skinny Ray's a fucking bitch.
I thought Ray was your boy.
Worked for me. Skinny Ray is a fucking
Ray's got a
cokehead.
great
Works
reputation, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Ray worked for Cheese? How well do you know Cheese Jean-Baptiste?
How well do you know Cheese Jean-Baptiste?
Oh, sounds familiar.
No. It don't sound familiar, Elaine. He's a violent, sociopathic Haitian criminal named Cheese. Either you know him or you don't.
I love that line so much. That's not going to ring a bell in the back of your head. You either know that guy or you've never heard of him.
I mean, she's a drug runner, B. Means she carries drugs. Isn't that right, Helene?
Oh my God, a few times.
Where?
Providence. I mean, does it fucking matter?
Maybe her family member shouldn't be in the room while she's telling them this. She's just gonna lie.
I mean, the family needs to be around to hear the facts, though. Seems like Ed Harris can get the answers.
Yeah.
Cocaine and heroin.
No, I would have seen the track marks.
Not if you snort it. Right, sugar?
Yeah, less addictive that way.
Is that how that works?
I still maintain that Amy Ryan should have gotten awards for this movie, and she didn't. That's Holly from The Office.
Yeah. Wow.
This
Yeah,
is a
that's
hell of a
crazy.
performance, isn't it?
Where's the money now, Helene?
It's with Ray.
And where's Ray?
Chelsea.
Let's go. Come on. She rides with you. I don't want her in my car.
He's just repulsed by her.
Yeah, jeez. Understandably, though.
Whatever happened to Scott?
He stabbed a foreign exchange student in the chest. He got
Damn.
life in Walpole. He's a faggot now.
So how'd the money end up in Chelsea? I thought you and Ray went home after.
No, we dropped off Amanda and went back to Ray's. The fucking retarded Ray left his baby rock at my place. You know, right
Just
then.
so many words he can't use anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, this was not that long ago.
No.
We're already uncool, but they've become totally over the line in the intervening time.
I don't think any of these people care.
It's true.
I don't know where that mother went, but she left all her fucking cats in there, and it smells like cock.
Yeah, respectful communication is not
No, we didn't hear nothing.
something that seems to be important to anyone in this movie so far.
What happened?
What makes you think Ray hasn't spent all the money, Helene?
Nigga, please, I hit it. Pull over.
They just had to throw in all the bad words.
Yeah.
We tell him I'm sorry, right? I mean, he knows me. Just tell him I apologize.
I'm sure that'll fix everything. Just take her home. We'll take care of this, all right?
We'll meet you over there.
I'm hungry.
Now I'll get you something, Helene.
Oh, her. That's what she said to me right before I put her to bed. She said, I'm hungry. I mean, they fed her, right? She's not still hungry.
I don't know.
Lady, don't you get it? They're bad people.
She seems to be getting slow drips of realizations of the stakes of the situation she's in.
She seemed very unaware of the seriousness of the whole situation before, but...
I mean, she seems like someone who just kind of numbs herself to life generally, so
Yeah.
she's just continued numbing herself to this as well. And that's why she can't fully keep in touch with how dire it is. I think seeing Ray's body was a moment of clarity,
Yep.
and that's.
It's all right. We're gonna find her, Ellie.
You have to. You promise?
Yeah. I'm gonna try. I will.
Promise. You have to promise me.
I promise.
Oh.
This movie,
The fact that he promised
yeah,
does not make me feel confident.
yeah, it doesn't bode well movie-wise.
No.
I was just gonna say though, this movie is so elevated by all the performances. All the actors are
Yeah.
doing such fantastic jobs.
Really incredible, yeah.
Even the actors I recognize that so just fully become their characters. You know.
But don't get too far.
You know, it'll be right here.
Beaches love the cheddar.
Like, does the cheddar mean money, or is he referring to himself?
I think he's referring to himself.
Better than you. Lift up your shirt.
Come on, man.
Motherfucker, you heard me. Lift up your shirt.
I ain't like that, jeez.
Why do you protest and say "Come on, man" when you're not wearing a wire? Like,
Yeah.
just demonstrate.
Just
if he
do
pulls
it.
out a gun and
Yeah.
asks, you know.
Some other motherfuckers let fool rub on them. I don't play scrimmage. But I don't fuck with no kids. And if that girl only hope is you, well, I pray for her. 'Cause she's gone, baby. Gone.
Roll
That's the
credits.
name of the movie.
From what I heard, the guys that get sent up Concord for killing kids, life a motherfucker.
Got 2 cops waiting for him outside, man.
If I see you again, I'm gonna get discourteous on you.
Love the way Cheese talks.
Discourteous.
Cheese's vocabulary is excellent.
Mm-hmm. I don't think Cheese knew anything.
Yeah.
Cheese called in. He says he'll take the deal with Amanda, but he wants to go tonight.
Great.
I see.
The 4 of you have involved me in an illegal activity without my knowledge or consent, and I don't fucking appreciate it.
You don't have to be a part of it.
The hell I don't. If I delay this now after this agreement, I just further endanger the life of that child. Does that sound like something you expect me to do?
No, sir.
I don't know if you could get this shot with a drone back in this time.
Yeah,
I
no,
wonder.
it's probably a helicopter.
Yeah, probably expensive to do.
They're gonna get Amanda up here.
What?
You heard something? Yeah, something went in.
Where did it go?
There! Right there.
It's a doll.
She just doesn't hesitate.
No.
Did she injure her legs jumping in?
No, I think she injured them falling down the rocks and they were running away.
Enough time went by, and they called off the search. They issued a lien and death certificate.
Do they usually issue a certificate if there's no body?
I think they can if they don't have a reasonable expectation of recovering a body.
The frame and the casket were donated by the funeral home.
But it seems like a quarry should be a diveable depth. You know?
Yeah.
You should be able to search definitively.
So that is deep and treacherous, but
I couldn't stop running it over and over and over in my mind. The vague and distant suspicion that we never understood what happened that night, what our role was. Amanda was even more haunting for never being found.
Late-breaking news on that story. Little Johnny Pietro is also wearing what this reporter believes might be a sign.
Johnny Pietro is wearing the medallion of St. Christopher, patron saint of the...
Johnny Pietro and his medallion. What I didn't find strange...
You get your toast with you, right?
What?
Your gun dummy.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that word for a gun before.
Toast.
Yeah.
Lots of word for guns.
Come in with me. Watch my side. We'll find out if this motherfucker's in here. You know what, Patrick? If you don't want to come in, you don't have to come in. If you don't want to come in, fuck it.
Maybe brief in before you get there, too.
That's not how these kind of dudes roll.
Yeah, I guess not.
I love that their false lead from the very beginning now randomly comes back. He's like, hey, I found those people you asked about.
I told you to tell me when it got here.
I just got here.
You already did some.
It was a day's bag. Sorry.
Here, count this fucking mess.
Seems like a lovely life.
Yeah. The charming people.
Mr. Miller, I'm warning you. Stop!
Patrick, shoot this bitch. Fat busted cunt.
There he is.
Who's this guy?
Corwin, go back to your room.
Not a party? Nope, it's not a party.
They're still gonna try to pick that up. And be like, there's not that much dirt in there.
It's fine, it's fine. It's still good.
SWAT will be here in 5 minutes.
Not gonna wait for them?
Did you or did you not tell me you saw Corwin home with the medallion of St. Christopher around his fucking wrist?
I definitely saw it going on.
We're not waiting.
Stay here.
Well, that's not good. Oh.
That sounds like Ed Harris. He had a shotgun.
Yeah.
A real gunfight's gotta be so tense.
Yeah, dude.
You're playing for keeps.
Listen.
Oh.
Wait.
No thoughts there even? No reaction? You're not reacting very much.
Having trouble with what I just saw. And if they'd have just gotten there a little sooner. And he tried to avoid shooting that woman, but she ended up dead anyway.
Did Ed Harris kill her?
Yeah.
That man killed a child. He had no right to live.
Agreed.
You did what you had to do.
That seems like it would be a very hard scene to walk upon. I can definitely understand how someone could make the choice Patrick made right there. It seems like it would be very powerful motivation to do that.
Yeah, the camera work and the cuts too sort of implied that he was lost his cool.
You only kind of went
Screw
into
this guy.
Went into a daze. Yeah. But then the juxtaposition of, you notice the hospital he's just walking out of called Our Sister of Infinite Mercy.
Oh, yeah.
Patrick did not have infinite mercy.
No.
Did you hear anything about Nick?
They said he could be okay.
It's a weird name for a hospital.
Planted evidence on a guy once. Back in '95, we get a call from our pal Ray Lekansky. So it's a stash house, right? The old ladies beat the shit. The husband's mean, cracked out. But the kid's room in the back was spotless. The little boy's sitting on the bed holding on to his PlayStation for dear life. There's no expression on his face. Tears streaming down. He wants to tell me he just learned his mother's
Was the PlayStation out in '95?
The first one was, yeah, but
Yeah.
a poor kid wouldn't have it. But it's just that Harris doesn't know the difference between video games.
Yeah, yeah.
He just wants someone to tell him that he's doing a good job. So I went back out there. I put an ounce of heroin on the living room floor, and I sent the father on a ride, 7 to 9.
Ed Harris is one of those guys where I feel like if I met him in real life and I said, "What do you do?" and he's like, "I'm an actor." Like, what? Like,
Yeah,
it just doesn't
yeah.
seem like he's an actor at
No.
all. You know what I mean?
No.
It's a lot to think about. Oh, he's still got blood all over his shirt.
Yeah.
Didn't give him a different shirt at the hospital.
It's movie symbolism.
Yeah.
How's Remy?
He lied to me. What did Remy say about Ray back in Roxbury?
Never heard of him.
Ray Lekansky's the reason Amanda got taken in the first place. Remy lies about knowing him.
Let it go.
Huh.
Why would he lie? What's he have to hide?
Amanda's dead.
It's just this tiny little thread.
Mm-hmm. Started running your mouth.
Sorry, bro.
Now he's suspicious.
Yeah, thanks.
Thinking about our conversation the other night.
I said some things I shouldn't have. Too much rum.
Like what?
Don't fuck with me, Patrick. Not today.
How you doing?
How you been?
Can't complain.
If you're
Can I talk to
if
you?
you were familiar with The Wire, you'd
Yeah.
know this guy.
Not here.
But I'm not.
Right.
I've heard it's amazing, though.
Remy goes to a cop in DCU asking if anybody knew who robbed Cheese.
So what?
So my informant tells me Cheese didn't even know he got robbed until 2 weeks later.
So Remy knew Cheese got robbed before Cheese did. How do you know that?
I'll tell you something. You better think long and hard before you start running around here investigating the police. You try and take food out their mouths, and they will fuck you up.
Ain't that the truth?
I mean, that's true of most people.
Yeah.
And you try to actually come after, you know, how they make their money or where they get their food, and they are not gonna take it lightly.
Cops have some extra power, though.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean,
just totally ruin your life if they want.
exactly. Yeah. Because they wield so much power, it makes it more dangerous to go after them. But everybody will use the power at their disposal to protect those things. You know?
I got nothing to talk about.
Well, that's fine. We can talk to the state police.
Meet me at Murphy's Law.
You leave that house. You're an enemy to me.
Just trust me, all right?
No, trust me, where I come from. You die with your secrets.
What's going on, Nate?
Yeah. I don't know, but it's looking like Lionel knew something. I don't know.
Doesn't quite make sense yet.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
But it's definitely all
Good, I'm
fishy.
not missing anything. It just doesn't make sense.
No, you don't have all the pieces yet. You just know something doesn't make any sense.
How long you known Remy?
What is this?
You got the internet now, Lionel. And I know you ain't being 100% with me right now, and it's really fucking pissing me off that you're lying, so you better interrupt me at any time, because I'm about
Fine.
Go ahead. You saw a bag of money, and you wanted it, and you thought you could get away with it. But B called the media and made a big thing of it. and then she called us, and then you were fucked.
The case is closed, Patrick. The case is closed.
Coke dealing Haitian's pretty easy target for a frame.
Lionel?
And some hefty shots.
Yeah, jeez. After so long of being sober, it's about to get plastered from that.
Remy laid out this plan. It seemed easy. We take her, force Helene and Ray to cough up the cash, then we put her back, you know? Amanda gets to spend a weekend in the country, my sister learns a lesson. And fuck it, everybody gets paid on time. They got Chris Mellon to set up cheese at the quarry. Yeah, she just fell. I mean, she fell in. She's gone. So don't feel too sorry for my sister, because she never gave a shit about anyone but herself.
Seems clear.
Open it. Open the safe. No. You're a talker, huh? Just keep revving, motherfucker.
Don't antagonize him, he's got a gun!
Oh, we just keep drafting away.
Fuck! Remy Brisson. Amanda McCready was taken by Remy Brisson. Oh my God! Amanda McCready was taken by Remy Brisson. Wait! Remy
Jesus!
Brisson.
Who told you about
God
that?
damn it! Remy Brisson. Amanda McCready was taken by
I told
Remy
him we
Brisson.
took him for ransom. I told him, Remy, please.
Shot twice in the chest. That's hard to run away from, but guess he did it somehow.
Lionel's just trying to save his own life by frantically saying that he told them the story we just heard.
Yeah. And obviously the burglar's like involved in the situation. That's not just like a random occurrence. So how would he even know?
Well, Lionel was calling him Remy.
Yeah. But how would he know that they were in there having that conversation?
Well, because we heard the
yeah, that's right.
conversation between Lionel and Remy about that he was going down there.
Put it down!
He was prepared to kill Lionel to keep him quiet, though.
She was a child.
I love children.
Asshole.
You charge people money as a detective. Now, you're at the quarry the other night, right? And you have no idea that this is a setup? You're baffled, right?
No, because strange as it might seem, I believe the police when they tell me something. Taking a trip?
Patrick Kinsey. What do I owe the pleasure?
Remy Brisson died last night. Telling yourself you did it for the right reasons? That you took her to be saved? From her own mother?
You know, it doesn't matter what the rules say. When the lights go out and you ask yourself, is she better off here or better off there? You know the answer. And you always will.
Oh, the justification just doesn't sit right with me.
That's what I was saying. This movie is really good at the most complex moral quandary I think I've ever seen in movies.
Yeah.
A couple of them, you know. This being the biggest one.
You may not regret it for a year, but when you get to where I am, I promise you, you will. I did what I did for the sake of the child.
Oh.
For me too.
No, you didn't.
He says it's for him too.
You're a kidnapper, dude.
People don't change. Helene is arsenic.
Angel, I know that this is hard. Maybe I'm sorry. But you can't ask me to do something that I can't do.
How would that even work? Have to lie about her name and stuff to the schools and like...
Yeah, I mean, a police chief has the resources to figure it out.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I will hate you for doing this.
Oh.
I don't want to.
She's not saying she's going to make the choice. She can just tell what her emotional reaction to it is,
Yeah.
you know?
It's like a lot of pressure to put. He screwed everything up for everybody. He's making his life hard.
Morgan Freeman?
Yeah, Morgan Freeman.
Seems like it was Remy Bressant's idea. Like, Ed Harris is the one who said, we'll do something. He, like, put it together, you know?
I mean...
After Lionel said to him, I'm worried that Helene's going to leave with Amanda and I'll never see her again, and, you know, and Helene can't take care of her.
Yeah.
Which is a legitimate concern that I think Angie also shares.
But there's other ways to deal with that situation other than kidnapping.
Exactly. I'm not saying this is the solution, right? But I'm saying, but now that it's done, you know, is it right to send her back to Helene? You know, that's the question being asked by the movie.
Yeah.
Amanda doesn't want to let go.
Yeah, she doesn't look particularly happy.
I mean, it's just a terrifying big news conference setting, too.
Yeah, that's true.
Tell us how it feels. You must be so excited.
Now that I have my own daughter, though, it hits a lot harder, I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you to all the policemen and the firemen. I feel like 9/11 right now.
What?
I get what she means, but that's a weird thing to say on TV.
Want to talk for a minute?
There's nothing to say.
Ended their partnership.
Damn.
Execute a child molester. I'm proud of you. Return a kidnapped girl to her home. I'm leaving you.
Yeah. The whole ending here is very conflicting to me.
It's not over.
I mean, he was a kidnapper. She was kidnapped.
You get what Patrick was saying about that. It'd be hard to live with. You know, if I have to encounter this adult woman who says, I was kidnapped as a child and you found me and you did nothing.
Yeah, exactly. You put me in this position.
What about Amanda?
What about Amanda?
Who's gonna watch her?
Dottie.
Yeah, Dottie know that?
She will in 5 minutes.
She doesn't seem like she's changed much.
Is that, Mirabelle?
Annabelle.
I think there's a ton of significance in that right there. We can unpack that.
What specifically?
At the beginning, when Helene was on TV talking about her daughter's missing, she said she's got her blankie and her favorite doll, Mirabelle. She brings it everywhere with her. Helene doesn't know the doll's name. She does not know her child. And that's, I think, part of the moral quandary of this movie, is that Helene is about as objectively of a bad mother as you can find.
Absolutely. Didn't even have a sitter lined up.
No, she's gonna get Dottie, and was saying, "Oh, I'm late. I'm rushing out the door," and hasn't even asked Dottie if she's available yet.
God. Wow.
All right.
Well.
Gone, baby, gone.
Yeah.
What do you think?
That was an intense movie.
Yeah.
A lot to unpack there. It's definitely a complex storyline with a lot of little ins and outs.
Mhm.
I feel like it's one I'd want to watch again to try and catch like small subtleties and stuff.
It definitely, I mean, I feel like this is true for most mysteries, but it definitely benefits from a rewatch when you know how it turns out. I felt like, particularly on this go around, that it's so obvious that Ed Harris is involved in everything right from the start, but I feel it didn't stand out that way. Yeah.
Nope.
I mean, one thing that I feel like is glaring, when they first get the we robbed cheese story out of Helene in her kitchen, and then they're like, okay, now we gotta go down to Chelsea to find Ray, and Remy is like, she rides with you, I don't want her in my car. That's a nice, I'm disgusted with her excuse. He and Nick went ahead to kill Ray. Like, they beat him to death right before they got there.
Yeah. Oh, God.
So there's little things like that once you know what's going on, you can piece things like that together more easily.
Yeah, this is definitely a second time through. I would be like, okay.
Yeah.
So I guess a couple of questions about the scene when they were at the quarry.
Mm-hmm.
Why did they kill Cheese?
To frame him.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess.
Need him as their dead perpetrator, you know?
Yeah.
It's a complete package. There can't be any loose ends to follow up on.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They were cooking this whole thing.
And it feels like they also could have just killed the investigators, too.
You think they just would have killed Patrick and Angie?
Yeah, just dump them in the quarry. Just get rid of anyone else, like, looking into this situation. As a matter of fact, kill all 3 of them, and then they all killed each other.
3? Oh, so Cheese too?
Cheese, yeah.
Well, you don't even really need... I mean... Because Morgan Freeman ultimately, and like Morgan Freeman and Ed Harrison, I don't know the actor that played Nick's name, so I can't call them, you know. So, because it was the 3 of them that were behind it, and also the 3 of them that were kind of in charge of investigating it, Patrick and Angie were really the only X factors in them just having like a closed loop kidnapping here. So, forget about involving Cheese at all. Really, what they could have done is just kill Patrick and Angie because they are the problem, asking questions that shouldn't be asked, you know?
Could have just made up the fake story about Cheese calling him, brought him up there, boom, boom.
They could have killed them earlier on other pretenses and staged it in any number of ways. Clearly, they're willing to do those kind of things.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's curious, and I had never really thought about that that's sort of a better solution to their problems, and they go to these elaborate lengths to like cook up some alternate story and keep them satisfied. You know?
Yeah.
But they know that they're detectives, but I guess they think that because they're so young, they can fool them, you know? It's the age discrepancy that they comment on a couple times in the movie.
Yeah. Maybe they think they're, like, so naive that they would never pick up on. But, I don't know, yeah, it feels like there was a lot of ways to just tie up all the loose ends for them and then just be able to go forward with their plan. Although, I am also wondering how the chief would keep Amanda's, like, because her face is all over the news and stuff, so like she has to go to school at some point. She's gonna end up at a doctor's office at some point, you know, like
it's true.
It seems like there would be difficulties trying to, and like you said, he's a police chief, so like, you know, maybe he has the connections to, but I mean, even like Amanda's old enough to know her own name.
Yeah.
If like her name gets changed on some documents or whatever, and everyone's calling her something different, you know.
It's true.
It feels like it would be. Feels like they didn't think it like completely all the way through.
Well, we never saw anything truly from their perspective. It's all from Patrick learning about what they had done, so we don't know the extent to which they had planned things or what exactly their approach to the whole thing was. But clearly, I mean, I think it's such an interesting, you know, Morgan Freeman's character, he's not even in the movie very much, but he sort of has such an interesting storyline in the background there of a father-driven sort of manic by the death of his own daughter by a kidnapper, and so, you know, he dedicates his life to preventing this from kids and then winds up turning into a kidnapper, you know, even though he believes he's got the reason for it. So he
literally caused her the same sadness and suffering that he was trying to prevent the cause of this entire time. It seems, and I mean, like, you're talking about like a moral quandary. I guess in my personal opinion, it's kind of cut and dry. Like, it does happen. It has happened in the past in like real stories where somebody who's like lost a kid will like kidnap another kid and stuff. Like, like he's obviously sick, you know, like he's struggling with the loss of his own daughter and wanted like a replacement kind of thing. He's not purely altruistic, like certainly not.
No, it's an opportunity that he saw, and
on
some level,
justifying to himself. All of these dudes were just justifying this to themselves. But some of them were seeing dollar signs, which is just like...
The moral quandary, I think, comes from the fact that Amanda is returned to an objectively bad environment. You know, and I think they make a point to end the movie with that Mirabelle-Annabelle exchange for a reason. You know, the last thing they want to show you is, this is the good outcome.
Yeah.
This is, you know, it's when Remy tells the story about planting the evidence on the guy, you know, he tells the story and Patrick goes, and that was the right thing? And I think that's the question that they want us, the audience, to ask as we're staring at this last shot, and he just lingers on the two of them on the couch for so long, you know? It's like, this is the good outcome, right? This is what we wanted.
I guess this is justice.
Yeah,
it's like, it's like the world's unjust, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like, yeah, so because there's no agent that we can point to who's caused this injustice, this is the one that we're supposed to have, you know? It's a strange, I don't know, like I also sort of, I'm kind of on the same page as you of sharing your gut feeling about what the right thing is there, but it's sort of, makes me wonder if we've just been conditioned into feeling that the rules are paramount, because if you start making exceptions to the rules for when it's right, then why are they rules, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And it's, I also feel like there's a ton of other solutions, though, that don't involve kidnapping. Like, I know that, like, the foster care system is really messed up, and, like, you know, the social services system in the U.S. is not particularly great at dealing with all the... I mean, sometimes good things come of it, but it's ultimately just kind of... It sounds like a horrible situation kind of all around.
It's got a lot of problems, and it's got a very difficult task on its hands. So,
but, you know, you can also just, like, if you don't want to involve social services, I'm just going to kidnap her instead.
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
really
not
sound
right.
like a viable solution. And, you know, poor Patrick, man, his entire life just got blown up from that. His girlfriend was just being like, you know, if you do this, I'll be mad at you forever. And it's like, now I need to live with this knowledge that we found her and not disclose it and not solve this problem that we were hired to solve. Like, this is at a certain point, you just got to be like, this is what I got into this situation for.
Yeah.
There was, we were all thinking that we were going to find her in a situation that was worse than the situation that she was already in.
It's good she hasn't been harmed, but she still needs to go home.
Yeah, exactly. Can't just keep her, I can't just live with that knowledge that I'm keeping her from her mother and I know where she is and I know that I can solve this, but then not solve it.
Now, on that point, here's the other thing. I only learned this recently, like maybe a year ago or so. There is a sequel to the novel that this is based on. It takes place like 15 or 17 years later or something like that, when Amanda McCready, the young adult woman, goes missing again, and Patrick and Angie team up to find her.
Oh, that's nice.
I just learned about that. Like, I don't know if they reunite romantically, but the two of them work together in trying to track down Amanda McCready, who goes missing again. And we're coming up to the time interval in real time that is between those novels and the story, and so I've been wondering, are they going to make the next Gone Baby Gone? That's that same story. That'd be cool if they did that, I think.
Yeah, it'd be sweet to see, like, the follow-up to that. I mean, it'd also be interesting to read the book now. It's kind of...
Yeah.
It's a great story.
I've never read the book. What do you think about this as Ben Affleck's directorial debut? Pretty good, right?
Yeah, it was
pretty good direction.
Pretty incredible, yeah.
I feel like I can tell that it's a first movie, you know? There's not a lot of super fancy cinematography or anything like that in there, but I also feel like the movie gets elevated just by how stellar all the performances are.
Oh my god,
everybody's
the acting
was
really, really incredible.
Amy Ryan needed to get awards for this movie. I don't think that she did, but I wish that she had.
Yeah, that's quite a character switch from her usual.
Well, she's also on The Wire.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, versatile. I had no idea.
Yeah, she's one of the cops on The Wire. Well, we have the whole B plot to talk about and the other moral quandary, you know, the missing boy and the weird cokehead people and the, you know, killing the child molester after you find the dead kid in the bathroom.
I don't know, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, see, but wait a minute. On our previous moral quandary, we were saying you should obey the rules even when the case in front of you doesn't seem to, you know.
Yeah.
So now we're saying, but you can murder this guy because fuck him.
So, I guess the excuse I make in my head is that if he'd have just seen him and just shot him, and didn't call the cops, then I would immediately just be like, no, dude, you should go through the proper channels. But after seeing what he saw, I excuse his immediate reaction
because he wasn't thinking rationally. Yeah, he was
like,
reacting to the sight of the dead child. So, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe it's not the right course of action, but also like
he's blameless.
The law also in situations like that tends to give people leeway and just be like, oh, I mean, it's sort of like this rage thing.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah, deep brain processes took over that were not his conscious decision-making process, and so we don't have to hold him responsible. You know, that action is not an indicator of how Patrick Kenzie is going to behave in the future, so we don't have to worry about
extenuating
it.
circumstances.
Exactly.
And this guy, you know, would have rotted in prison anyway, kind of thing. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. That is tricky. You know, like what is the right course of action to take in that situation?
Well, and he feels bad about it too. Patrick does, and it's so. I mean, I love the way that it's shot, as you mentioned while we were watching. That there's like you see every beat of time that's there while he's standing there deciding, should I do this? You know, and the guy just says wait, and then closes his eyes, flinching. You know, it's like there's no argument to make that it's anything except for deciding to end the man's life. So it's. You can say, oh, I was overcome, but it's not as though there's no time to think. He definitely had time to think. It's just how he was thinking is excusable, I guess. It's tricky. But that's why I feel like another reason this movie has good rewatch value is because there's these moral quandaries to it. And so you watch it again, it's, you know, you're just rewalking yourself through the steps of what is right and wrong, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot there. A lot to process mentally in there. I do like I was at first kind of disappointed that the Amanda storyline just kind of ended.
Yeah.
And then we started on like a new storyline, and I was thinking that the Amanda situation wasn't going to come back around. That it was going to be something that we as the audience had to just like be dissatisfied about, which is fine.
Right,
know,
and they sort of say that in the narration, you know,
Mhm.
that she's more haunting because she never gets found.
Right.
Yeah.
But it also, like most things, most movies and TV shows and stuff like that, if you never see a body, there's a good chance that person is still alive when you...
Yeah, that's a good rule.
They had me convinced, though.
Well, I think that's another point of the good directing in the movie. They're trying to put you into the mind of the characters by doing that with the film, where it's like, that story's resolved, and it doesn't feel quite right.
No.
It doesn't sit right, but it's over.
Yeah.
And we're moving on, you know? Like, that's what Patrick and Angie felt like, I think, because there was the whole setup and they didn't see, you know, and it was like, it would be like, this doesn't feel right, but I guess, you know, so, like, I think the movie was trying to make you feel how the characters feel in doing that.
We also didn't see Cheese's death at the time. Yeah, it's like that scene was really well directed, I felt like, up in the quarry, because, like, there was, like, this air of, like, confusion kind of going on. You know, there was gunshots going off, but there was no bullets ricocheting around them.
Yeah.
And then something fell in the water, and, like, bodies don't just, I mean, sink like that.
Exactly,
They,
yeah.
like, you know, and, I mean, especially bodies that were, well, it's weird that I even know this, but bodies that were killed before they're thrown in will generally float. And then, like, if a person falls into the water, you would see her splashing around and stuff.
Right, yeah,
But
a
she
little girl wouldn't
sank
just sink like a stone, yeah.
Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense.
Well, and you keep in mind, too, when we were hearing on the TV about how the quarry was treacherous, but they're searching, that was Morgan Freeman. So he also has control of that search and is probably, you know, just, you know, the people who are not finding anything are under his command, so he can... There not being a body there isn't going to cause question marks for any other people.
Exactly.
You know?
And, you know, the quarry looked pretty big, but not so big that they would never be able to find. And how treacherous can a quarry really be?
Don't they drag it? Like, don't they have, like, weighted nets that they troll along the bottom and then just bring up everything and sift through it? I thought that's how they search for bodies.
Sometimes.
And bodies of water.
If they're diving for it, like, if there's a little girl missing and her body could be found in that spot, and the water's not going anywhere. It's not like it's like flowing out of there into a bigger body of water.
They're not
going
to stop until they find something.
They'll look and look and look until they find some evidence.
Right.
And a doll is not enough evidence, you know. So
the doll is just the doll.
Yeah, and that all clicked at the end. I was just like, why aren't they looking harder? You know, like, why did they just say she's dead now and that's good enough for them? And it's like, not under no real circumstances would that be good enough for them. Like,
yeah.
But it never crossed my mind that it would be, you know, the police chief would be the one,
right?
Like,
yeah,
calling the shots.
That's not a twist that you really think of while you're watching. Is maybe it's all the cops are the kidnappers, but that's kind of what we got here. All the cops except for Michael K. Williams, and that's the guy with the scar.
Yep, he was the one with some information that just shared the information that he had, just got out clean seemingly. But man, crooked cop stories also bother me because they really do have like so much power and influence, and like you're supposed to trust them when they say things. I mean, we're having a big conversation about this in our country right now. It is a sensitive topic, but, you know, like...
Who watches the Watchmen?
Exactly. You know, if the cops are involved in something, they're just gonna cover it up and cover it up and cover it up, figure out ways around it. They're gonna misdirect people.
Well, I think that that's a tendency that shows up in many institutions, where the institution develops this sort of need and a tendency to cover up the misdeeds of any of the members of the institution because they think it'll reflect badly on the institution as a whole. So, you know, like, they don't want anyone... I think of, like, the Catholic Church as another example. Talk about hot button topics.
Woohoo!
But, you know, they... Rather than say, this is a person behaving of their own free will and is not acting on our behalf, you know, they say, oh, this person didn't do anything wrong because anybody who is in our institution is not going to do wrong things. You know?
Right.
So it's...
But then the irony comes up where it's like, but if a bunch of members of that institution are coordinating to do something specifically the opposite of what they're supposed to be doing, then it's looked at as an institutional problem.
Exactly.
So, like,
it becomes that way because they protect it so often, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, all of this excuse making about, like, we do this for the kids, Morgan Freeman especially being like, you know, he spent his career trying to protect kids and, like, lost his own kid and stuff like that. He literally, by doing that, sowed distrust in his own institution that was supposed to be helping protect children. You know
exactly.
What I mean? So, like, makes them all look bad. Kind of makes you not want to call them. You know?
Yeah.
It's like...
Well, they did kidnap that kid at one time.
Exactly. So, like, ultimately, it's ironic that it's always... They're trying to... Maybe ironic's the wrong word. Sorry if I'm using that wrong, guys.
Sorry, Alanis.
It's just interesting when, like, they, like... Same goes with the Catholic Church, too, when they cover things up in order to try and save their own skin. But then when it comes out, it's like, now the Catholic Church is the problem. It's not that one individual. If you just deal with that situation, then you can kind of pass it off as being like, that's them being bad and we took care of it. But now you got the ex-police chief as a kidnapper, and all these other cops were in on it. A bunch of cops died. You know, a bunch of people died in this situation.
So let's count the bodies. We got Ray's dead. Cheese and Chris both died because they killed Cheese out at the quarry to set him up, and then they had to kill Chris after that because he helped them set Cheese up, and so he knows that those cops are crooked. Then I guess Nick's death doesn't really count because Nick was killed by the Corwin-Earl people that had the kid. But
all those people are dead. I mean,
well, but the only reason that they went to that house is because Nick and Remy had to feed Patrick and Angie the fake lead about Corwin-Earl because they had to give them something about here's what we're looking into, you know, because really they were just looking into nothing and saying that they were investigating. But so if they hadn't heard about that, they never would have gone, you know, so it's all part of this same thing. So I guess, you know, you have to count Nick and then those three people. Plus the little boy wasn't part of all the... I don't know. It's hard to say, but a lot of people died at the hands of this plot.
Exactly. It was supposed to be just like every good plot. It was supposed to be in and out. Like some people get paid. Some, like, little girl gets a better life. Like,
it's supposed to be a simple plan, like the movie of the same name. You ever seen A Simple Plan? Billy Bob Thornton and Bill Paxton.
Oh, maybe I have seen that.
The airplane that crashes in the woods. They filmed it in northern Minnesota.
Oh, no, I haven't seen that. I've heard of it, though.
I see.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's not that good. Maybe I think that about wraps it up.
Yeah, I think so.
Our inaugural movie watch. Thanks for joining us to watch a movie, everybody.
Guys. It's great to see y'all watching.
And I guess we'll watch more movies soon. Help us boost to 1,000 subscribers, and then we can start posting polls.
And then you guys can decide what we watch.
That's right, because that's what we all came here for. So until next time, I'm Sean.
I'm Nate.
This is Catch Up Packets.